What is up, my people? Welcome back to the channel for another edition of the Ntd Awards, where today I will be discussing my top 5 sets of 2021. Due to this being the comeback year of live music, I've unfortunately not got to see as many sets as I would typically like to see year by year. But I'm happy to say for the sets that I was able to catch this year, I was able to narrow down to 5 of the best sets that I watched all year. Without further ado, let's get into it. For the number 5 pick, I went with Latin folk singer-songwriter Ed Maverick. This was a set I was able to catch during Lollapalooza in Chicago at the end of July and the beginning of August. And the thing, unlike any of the other artists I'm going to be naming on this list, this was one that I actually haven't heard of until I got to see him. I went to a hydration station just to fill up my Camelback, and then I heard a very deep voice, soft tune spoke that from the distance really caught my attention and really feel like I needed to make my presence there. So I walk over down to the Tito stage, if you're familiar with Lollapalooza, is where I found Mr. Ed Maverick performing. And might I say how grateful I am to have found such a genuinely beautiful spoken artist at Lollapalooza. One that shines over nearly all of them on the lineup, including the headliners. What made me really fall in love with Mr. Maverick's set is how deep and depth those vocals were during this live performance. Watching his audience be so captivated and sing along to his biggest hits was absolutely mind-boggling. Absolutely captivating. When the song Fuentes de Ortiz came on, which is his most popular track right now, I nearly bawled my eyes out. It was so gorgeous. I guess the only complaint that I would have for this set, I wish it was at night. But when I think about the majority of the sets that I was able to catch this year at Lollapalooza, none of them really spoke to me and really made me feel as much as Ed Maverick did. Number 4, I'm gonna have to hand it to one of the biggest headliners on this year's Riot Fest lineup, the Smashing Pumpkins. Now, as much as I am into their hits, I wouldn't really say I'm like a die-hard Smashing Pumpkins fan, but I am big when it comes to catching the milestones and some of the biggest bands and artists in all of music. So this was a band that I certainly felt like I needed to see, and thankfully so. Wow, this band has aged little to none. Their set list was absolutely pristine. I loved how they included their hit records with Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness and even Siamese Dream on here, with their bit hit singles such as Zero, 1979, Bullet with Butterfly Wings, Today, and Cherub Rock. Everything when it comes to leveling all the instruments, the amplifiers, the microphones, everything was tuned pitch perfect on here. Wasn't a dull moment in the band's set at all. They fucking murdered every song on here. From the moments that were just so mellow in the set when it comes to some of their grunge rock grooves that were playing on there, and then out of nowhere just getting into a fucking pit fest when Zero comes on. Holy shit, that was great. That was so much fun. Bands like this just go to show you that age is just a number. Number 3, I'm gonna have to give it to the lovely Miss Phoebe Bridgers. Phoebe Bridgers was one of the biggest headliners at Pitchfork Music Festival in Chicago this year. Of course, with all the hype coming for her Grammy-nominated latest record, Punisher, which in case you didn't know is an album that I already reviewed on the channel. I'm gonna have the link right here and down in the description whenever you want to check it out. Not only was Punisher one of my favorite records of the decade, and that's what kind of lured me to really enjoy this show more, but what really caught my ear is how amazing Phoebe sounds live. The raw emotional talent coming off her voice. I loved how she opened with some of her hits such as Motion Sickness on her debut LP, but not only that, the biggest reason why I have her on this list, she played Punisher front to back. Yes, start to finish. Listen, just to get to know me a little bit when it comes to my listening habits, I love playing albums over and over. That's like my biggest habit when it comes to my listening time, is playing albums. Of course, with songs on a record that I am really digging and songs that I also play separately, of course, especially when it comes to Kyoto, Graceland 2, Moon Song, Halloween. What really pulls the most with songs like this is playing through the track list on the record. Knowing what each song is to come in, I adored the track placement on this album, so you can imagine how I felt during this set. I really enjoyed seeing the crowd getting all hype when Kyoto comes on and even Motion Sickness, but also when her fan base falls in sedation when some of the deep dark indie cuts play. Not only was this one of my favorite sets of the year, but this is proof that Phoebe Bridgers is truly such a talented singer. Number 2, I'm gonna give it to the one and only UK post-punk band Idols. Very, very fortunate to catch this band in Chicago's Concord Music Hall. Shout out to my man Jake. I really like to go about these sets with not really pulling out my phone and filming that much or even using the device at all. Even if I really wanted to try to film for this set, I really couldn't. This was the best I was able to get.
Staring at the sun, no sucking on a bomb, turning round to run. No hallelujahs, but no kingdom comes. So you will not catch me staring at the sun.
I was seeing motherfuckers picking their phones up here and I was like, motherfucker, I'ma just survive. Idols is easily one of the most intense bands I've seen all year and in all my life. The intensity is off the roof. Jesus Christ, it was hot as fuck in there. I mean, granted, it was kind of a small venue. They're definitely gonna need something bigger next time. Those people in those pits were not fucking around, boy. Those motherfuckers were ready to get it. But I mean, like, yeah, round of applause for this band, dude. Like, wow, they killed it. This tour was absolutely so awesome. They played all their fan favorites from all 3 records. Unfortunately, Crawler hadn't came out yet. But man, Joe really knows how to get a crowd going, boy. That man, he just kept doing like this boxer pace kind of thing. And I don't know what it was, bro, but I was feeling it. I was feeling that shit, bro. Yeah. I was getting bodied in there too, boy. I couldn't do shit. I'm literally just fucking getting squeezed, and man, then all of a sudden I look behind me. This is a giant pit. I'm just, but easily had the most fun at this set for sure. I thought it was also cool that Lee Kiernan went into the crowd and started playing guitar. Here we are, number 1 set of 2021. No one deserves this more than Mr. Porter Robinson. I got to see Porter at Navy Pier in Chicago for his Nurture tour, and of course this is another record that I absolutely love, one of my favorites of the year, and one that I reviewed on the channel. I'm gonna have the links in the description and right above right over here. Was already so hyped to see this man live, but once I see those tickets went on sale, I hit my boy up immediately. I was like, yo, we're going. But what seriously really hyped me up is watching his live stream set of Secret Sky 2. Wind Temples is easily my favorite song on Nurture, and I loved what he did with that intro, with that like popping kick and click noise that you hear with like these arpeggios. But then once I heard that it's so slowly pitched up an octave and sped up by half time, oh my gosh, dude, so gorgeous. Porter absolutely did magnificent on this one. The set that I seen wasn't exactly the same as that one, but it was pretty much nearly the same. What really caught my attention is what he did with some of his hits on his record Worlds. My favorite moment of the set was right when you hear Mirrors transitioning to another song, and then you hear that very beginning of Sad Machine. Wow. I don't know what it was, dude. It was such the perfect placement, and I loved how he incorporated some new sounds and ad-libs and certain effects in some of his new music and old and mashed them up together. It made it just so new and fresh. It was amazing. I even got to the moment when the actual song Wind Tempos came on in the moment, and I was just like, out of nowhere, I just started crying. A lot of the thoughts that were really trickling in my mind at that moment was I was just so happy to finally see some of my most favorite dear songs play live again after that lockdown. I love playing music, I love talking about it, I love doing this channel, but nothing beats more than the joy of getting to see my favorite songs and artists live. Being at festivals, getting to walk around, meet new people, see new sets, see all the art that they have to offer there. This is something I have been extremely passionate about my entire life ever since I've been to my first show as a teenager. Being at all the shows that I got to go to this year, it didn't matter if I was alone, nothing made me happier than those moments. Nothing. And there you have it, guys. My top 5 sets of 2021. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed, go ahead and hit the like and share button, and also subscribe if you're not, and hit the bell as well to always keep notified on my newest content. Down in the description, you'll see links to more videos and also the links to my social media accounts so you can keep up with me on the daily. I'm gonna catch you in the next one. Deuces.